All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon. And in this video, we are going to be talking about a rumor that is out there related to Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Errol Spence Jr. and a partnership between the two for Terrence Crawford and the Errol Spence rematch, along with Derrick James. Let's talk about that in this video. All right, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Fanon, and in this video, we're going to be in the 147-pound division, where we'll talk about the best 147-pound fighter of this century, one of the best 147-pounders of the century, and preparation for one of the biggest fights that we've had, again, the last decade or so. Fight didn't wind up being as big as a lot of people thought it would be, but still big fight, a very important fight between Errol and Terrence Crawford in a rematch that will be coming up. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there really dumping on Errol Spence Jr.'s camp, and I think for not very honest reasons. And this information that is coming out, I really think is another example of it. But before I get into it, let me welcome you back to the channel. If you are new to the channel, please accept my invitation to hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so you can be notified of when we release more videos. And if you're a longtime subscriber and supporter of the channel, thank you guys so much for your continued support. It really makes a huge difference to the channel. But let's get into this, because clearly Errol Spence Jr. is going to need to make some type of changes in his career as he heads into a rematch, which is supposed to be taking place in February with the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world and the undisputed welterweight champion of the world, Terrence Bud Crawford. And of course, there's a lot of speculation about what those changes should be and what those changes will be. And came to my attention that there has been more talk about coaching being the change that would be made in Errol Spence Jr.'s camp. And what was brought up was Floyd Mayweather Jr. joining Errol Spence Jr. and helping Errol Spence Jr. think his way through a fight with Terrence Bud Crawford. And this is right on the back of a lot of people giving a lot of criticism to Derrick James, who was the trainer of Errol Spence, the trainer of Jermell Charlo, Anthony Joshua, Ryan Garcia, and Frank Martin. I wouldn't be surprised if he's got one more person in there. But the 2022 Trainer of the Year, it justifiably so for everything that he's accomplished. But you know how it goes, man. Once, you're only as good as your last fight, I guess. And as a result of Jermell Charlo not performing well against Canelo Alvarez and Floyd Mayweather and Errol Spence not performing well against Terrence Crawford, all of a sudden Derrick James is just, not good anymore, and everybody's trying to get rid of him. So it didn't surprise me at all when I got inboxed and when I saw a bunch of different things out on Twitter and on YouTube about the possibility of Floyd Mayweather Jr. Training Errol Spence. And what was used to justify this was some things that Floyd Mayweather Jr. had said, and some places where you've seen Floyd Mayweather. One of them was obviously him talking about Errol and saying how he wouldn't have told Errol to take that fight. The rematch shouldn't be at 154. The rematch should be at 160 or 168. So giving some advice to Errol Spence about what his next steps in his career should be. Also, he was right there on the podium with Jermell Charlo and talking to Jermell Charlo in front of a lot of cameras after after his loss against Canelo Alvarez. And so I think that that's probably the only reason that people are thinking that that's the case, that Floyd Mayweather would be doing that. But look, man, there's a lot of things about that just don't make sense. Like, for example, Floyd Mayweather Jr. is never been in anybody's corner that I know of as a trainer. He's somebody that more than if he was going to like go and give pointers to Errol Spence or talk to Errol Spence about what goes on, what should go on in the fight and all of that. Yeah, I'm sure if he was going to he could give a phone call or something like that. But I do believe that he himself is preparing for an exhibition on December 9th. And he's somebody that has been in a ring with a lot of different people. He's been in the ring recently with Shakur Stevenson. I know that he's been in the ring, obviously, a lot with Gervonta Davis. So, I mean, I guess that it's possible, but I would say that any type of conversations really about somebody either joining Derrick James' staff or replacing Derrick James, I just don't think that there really is going to be a lot to that. And I don't really know if that's something that really, that Errol Spence Jr. would need or would really be effective for him going into a fight with Terrence Crawford in February. Now, if that was something he was going to do over the course of 2 or 3 fights and then get back to it, maybe so. That may be beneficial. Definitely couldn't hurt. But I just think people are really underestimating some things related to that first fight. Number one, Terrence Crawford is an excellent fighter, man. He's a 5-star fighter for sure. A Hall of Fame level fighter, excellent fighter that was favored to win that fight by most of the bookies out there, right? So, no, man, it's not beating him is going to be a tough road no matter what you do. So the idea that, Errol is just going to like flip the switch on something, grab somebody and bring him in, I don't know about that, man. However, Derrick James also has a good advantage now going into the second fight, is that he's been in the ring with Terrence Crawford, saw how he approached the fight. Errol Spence Jr., and more than likely that fight is going to be at 154. So if I have to lean towards what I think these guys are going to do, they're probably going to stay put with what they're doing. Derrick James himself said that it wasn't true. Haven't heard anything really out there from Errol Spence Jr. at all about it. Now I do know, because I have some people in Dallas, and they know people connected to the gyms, and they said, yeah, there was some talk about it, or some people that were, let me put it this way, people that may have been pushing and telling Errol that that's something that he needed to do. But that's not necessarily means that that's what Errol himself is going to do, because at the end of the day, Errol is the guy that makes the decisions in that camp. And I know that to be true because I myself have talked to members in that gym, not about this particular issue, but about what the decision-making process is with Errol. And they're like, look, at the end of the day, Errol's the guy that makes all the decisions, and he makes his own decisions and is not easily swayed by other people. So as far as this Floyd thing, I think you can pour some water on it, unless, of course, he gives him some general pointers and encouragement and conversation, which he very well may do, because it seems like that's the type of guy Floyd Mayweather is. But anyway, that's my take on the matter. You let me know what you think in the comment section. And with that, I'm out. Peace.